And we are live. Thank you so much for joining us on the Clydesdale Media Presents Meet the Athletes of the Semifinals. Before I get to my guest, I need to thank my sponsors. RX Mark Gear is the only jump rope I've ever used and the only jump rope I ever will use. They provide world-class jump ropes, grips, and other gear for us all. Use discount code Clydesdale15, all caps, for 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. Mobility Movement, Mobility MVMNT, is a program that teaches you how to increase your capacity to heal, reduce recovery time, and restore your nervous system to peak health. Everyone gets a free 7-day trial. After that, our listeners get an additional month free when they use the code Clydesdale Free Month at mobilitymvmnt.com. And finally, C4 Energy, delivering the most effective, best tasting, and highest quality products for you. Get 20% off when you use the code Clydesdale at checkout at C4energy.com. That's C4energy.com. And that is what is getting me through all these interviews right here. Sour Batch Bros. Tastes like Sour Patch Kids, but they probably can't use that word. Anyway, I am with Leah Irons, and I am so pumped because I got to watch Leah at TFX and the MACC last year.
Yes,
And
you were at
she
TFX.
did
That's right.
so well. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen this season. Leah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm pumped and ready for the MACC next week. Can't believe it's
So,
here already.
I know. So you did the MACC last year.
I did.
And what I found so ironic is you finished quarterfinals in the same spot you were last year.
I know. I noticed that. I didn't notice it. And then my husband was like, well, no, one of the members was like, she did better than last year. And I thought I did worse. And so I looked and I was like, oh, I did the exact same. Sweet.
Yeah. You didn't do better and you didn't do worse.
Just keeping it neutral for now.
Yeah. Well, everybody's getting better, right? So at least you're getting
Yeah.
better at the same rate.
Yeah. I'm consistent.
Do you find that you are a better in-person competitor than you are online?
I would definitely say so. I tend to, in online competitions, have great workouts. And there's one that I will always bomb. That's supposed to be my jam. Like the open, for instance, the last workout should have been my best finish. And I completely bombed it. It was like I hadn't worked out ever. And same thing with quarterfinals. I have, some good ones. And there's just always one that I just bomb that I shouldn't. I don't know if it's like the stress of, the video before and things like that, but I much rather prefer in-person competition. There's just something about that adrenaline. I love it.
Yeah, so at the MACC last year, you actually finished 13th.
I
So not
did.
almost into that last heat. Do you have goals to get into that last heat this year?
Absolutely. My goal, obviously I have multiple, but that is one of my top goals. Last heat every single time. So I want to stay there and not I think I was the second to last heat the first day of MACC last year, and I ended up strength. That's a whole other topic, but that sent me back to heat one. And so I climbed my way back, but after the MACC last year, I was like, all right, final heat, no exceptions.
And you're a CrossFit affiliate owner as well.
I am.
And I noticed you have a co-owner who has the same last name as you.
Yes, that would be my husband.
Okay. And his name is Lee?
Yeah. So Lee
So,
and Leah.
Lee and Leah.
People
Yeah.
ask if I planned it. I'm like, yeah, I just go around all the Lees and like maybe he's an eligible bachelor. Who knows?
Yeah, she's on Tinder like, okay, not a Lee,
Yeah.
not a Lee,
Not a
not a
Lee. I'm
Lee.
out. Swipe left, left. But yeah.
So when did you guys open CrossFit Ammo?
So actually, Ammo started with Lee, my husband, and his sister, Erin, in her garage in 2012. So we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary in June. So that's pretty exciting. But that all started in her garage. And it ended up getting bigger and bigger. They were getting complaints through the neighborhood that all these people were running around and slinging weight everywhere. And so they had to move down the street to, a facility. And that just ended up growing. And 2 years after that, I came into the mix in 2014. So that story is kind of long too, but I started as a head coach there, and I just kind of just kept progressing. And my husband Lee had another job at the time, so he wasn't really in the gym as much because he was really busy with that job. And so me and Erin, my sister-in-law, just kind of held down the fort, and I was the annoying little sister with Lee basically at the moment. Just had some growing up to do, and we just became best friends. And so then through marriage, I became the owner once he realized that he liked me, I guess.
Well, there you go. So you weren't marrying him just for the gym.
No, he has other qualities.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, Matthew Ruiz jumped in and said,
Yes.
hey, Leah.
Matt, what's up? He's awesome. Ariel's coach. He's a good one.
Ariel. Are you friends
Yeah.
with Ariel?
Yeah. So I know her. She went to the same college as me, actually, but we never saw each other in college. But she's from the same area, so she lives in the same town as my dad and my in-laws. So anytime I'm visiting them, I'm getting my butt kicked by her in the gym. So she's awesome.
Yeah, and she actually goes this weekend at Syndicate Crown.
Yes, I'm stoked to watch her.
Do you back the other athletes in Texas?
Oh yeah, I that's one thing I've learned to love through the competition. When I first started competing, I feel like I was that quiet one in the corner to myself, and now I'm probably the annoying one in the corral. They're like, this girl will not shut up, because I just like through competition, I find a lot of different friends just through the various competitions that I do, and through my programming and things like that. So anytime Texas is out there, I'm like, go get them.
Yeah, I know. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and so we root for Ohio athletes here.
Yeah, y'all have a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It used to be a pretty big hotbed.
Yeah.
It's died down a little bit. We did have a champion here in Columbus, Graham Holmberg,
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
2010.
that's awesome. And you got Rogue there, so that's pretty cool
Yeah.
to go see that place.
When I actually had to go to the office, Rogue was 5 minutes from my office.
Oh, that's
Such
cool.
a temptation.
I know. That wouldn't be good for me. My
Yeah.
husband would be like, "Why are you spending all this money at Rogue?"
Right.
Like, well, it's convenient.
So you actually have a bachelor's degree in exercise science
Yes,
and
you've done your
then a
research.
master's degree in, always have trouble with this word,
Kinesiology.
kinesiology.
Yep, I do.
So you had plans to do some coaching and some things like this.
I did. I didn't plan to be a CrossFit coach initially, and it just kind of evolved to be my first job out of college. But I always wanted to be, well, I first started college wanting to be a pharmacist because they had a good paycheck, and I didn't do so well in chemistry. So I was like, yeah, maybe I should reevaluate my life choices. And so then I actually came into CrossFit as a pretty lazy person. Uh, Workout, exercise, things like that wasn't of importance to me. So then I started dabbling into fitness and wellness, and I fell in love with it and fell in love with just understanding the human movement. And so then I was like, man, I feel like this is a little calling. I want to pursue this a little further. And so that's when I made the choice to finish out school with that exercise science. And then the master's degree, I just want to learn a little further. And I wanted to somehow be in some strength and conditioning aspect of just fitness and wellness. And then straight out of college, I ended up getting a job at Ammo just by happenstance. I was the gym rat, and my sister-in-law I was always in the gym because I lived with my grandparents going to college, and what else was there to do living with your grandparents? So I was just always in the gym. And she asked if I had ever considered being CrossFit certified, and I had, but I didn't think CrossFit was going to happen until later in life. And so I ended up getting certified, and Ammo's the only job I've ever had out of college. So I kind of need more experience there, maybe, but it's a good one.
I did look at your LinkedIn account, and you do
Oh,
have
that
other
is so
jobs
old.
listed from
I
when you
need
were
to
in
update
college.
that.
So I have a question.
Oh
One of the
no.
jobs listed was a sales associate for an athletic supply company,
Oh yeah, that
and
was fun.
the other was a waitress at Texas Roadhouse.
That was I did it. Oh, man, I was not a good waitress.
So
I was a
I was going
terrible
to ask
waitress.
you, what was the better job, sales associate
Oh,
or
this
waitress?
sales associate for sure, because that That job was awesome. My roommate and she worked there, and we would make shirts. So like baseball leagues, basketball leagues, we were the ones that would design the shirts, print them, send them on their way. It was so fun to me. I loved it. And Texas Roadhouse, I struggled. I was always asking to get my shifts picked up, and I don't know, just I would say service wasn't my thing, but here I am an affiliate owner, so it's a little different. But yeah, waitressing, I realized was not my forte.
Is Texas Roadhouse different in Texas?
I don't think so. It's about the same, I feel like. I ate a ton of peanuts though. Those buckets, I'd always walk by, grab a handful. My pin bag was full of peanuts all the time. So that was a perk. That was nice.
The pin bag. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. But the steaks were good. I'd still eat
So,
them.
so the workouts have been announced for MACC.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good about him. I love it. I was so nervous when I saw him post the team first, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am just like, I just sat there staring at my phone, and it took like 15 minutes for the next one to post. So I was so anxiously awaiting. But when they got announced, I was stoked. I was excited about them. I've been, they were all, I feel like, good ones for me. But I mean, everybody at my level is they're going to be good for everybody. So, but I like it.
And anyone in particular you ready to jump into?
Man, I always enjoy running. So the event 4, I'm actually going to test it out later today with the chest to bar. I'm very bad at remembering workouts till it's like that moment. But there's running. I know that it's a mile of running. Some chest to bar pull-ups, which I like. Sled push. Shoot, there's something else. But
Yeah. I think
I'll
it's
read
called the
it.
MACC Mile.
Yeah, the MACC mile. I'm excited about that one. But
MACC
I
Mile, and
always,
it's 4 rounds. So it's
yes.
400s.
And
And
then
then it's a torque tank push.
yes. And that, man, that's bad. I should know this. I'm very bad at remembering workouts. Chest
As
to
long as you
bar.
remember
Oh,
during.
sandbags. Yes, I remember daring. But if
Yeah.
you ask me what I did yesterday, I have no idea. I couldn't. I could not explain it.
Yeah, because
There's
if you're
too many
supposed to do a
workouts going in my
sandbag
head.
pull and you're over on a barbell, we got problems.
Yeah. Well, the snatch event last year, we walk out to our lanes. I walked to the completely wrong lane, and they're like, "Hey, are you Danielle or something?" I don't even know. I was like, no. And you could see on the live footage, I'm just like walking around trying to find my way, and my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, who let this girl loose?" I'm just,
That's
I
awesome.
guess I'm so focused. I'm like, wait, what am I even doing?
That would be me. I am the biggest klutz in the world. I used to have to do
Oh,
presentations. I've fallen off a stage. I have tripped over the podium. I have, like,
oh man.
you name it, I have done it on a stage.
I feel that. That would be me, 100%. I'm always running into stuff.
So, what's the goal is top 10.
For sure. Goals, obviously, it's the games. So I've really honed in. I looked back on last year. My placement was pretty consistent, except for the snatch. I actually missed my snatch the first round, and then the next round I missed my snatch. I was like, oh my gosh, am I not going to get a snatch? So strength was a big weakness and something that I needed to get better at this year. And I've been eating like so many calories, lifting a ton, and so I'm feeling confident and ready for my strength to finally get consistent with the rest of it. So definitely top 10, but I'm looking for that podium too.
Do you think that it being a complex helps you out?
Yes, I think so. As opposed to one rep, I'm more of a complex type athlete, and ending with a jerk. Thank you. I love split jerks. I'm one of those opposite. If I can stand my cleanup, I'm like, oh, thank God I got this because I know I'm going to hit my jerk. I jerk more than I clean.
So, who's your plus one?
My plus one's going to be the husband, Lee. So he actually, when I first started my whole CrossFit journey, he was my coach from the very beginning, giving me programming, and that we actually weren't even dating at the time. I guess we kind of realized we liked each other through that process. But so he's been helping me just ever since I started competing back in 2016. just I switched programs to where he's not programming because the husband wife dynamic, we needed to kind of separate a little bit to the coach athlete. So for our marriage sake, we went to a different program, but he's been helping me behind the scenes and throwing in some weakness work and things like that. And I guess he's my what do they call those? The service dogs. He's my service husband, my therapy husband. I just feel more calm when he's there.
So, oh my gosh, since you brought up Ariel, we actually did a podcast with her and Emily Rolfe and their husbands.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
and the way that Ariel introduced Dylan to Emily Rolfe was that he was her dog, meaning that emotional support animal. But
I feel that.
But Emily's husband took it as, so you're saying he's your bitch.
I guess in the middle of a competition, I guess, because he kind of does whatever she needs.
and that's how the interview started.
That is awesome.
And it went downhill from there.
It can only just spiral down. That's perfect.
It's one of our most viewed podcasts because of the train wreck that it was.
So you're saying he's a bitch.
And we're doing it after semis again.
Yeah. Oh, I'm tuning in for sure.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So he's your emotional support animal.
Yeah. He's not he's my emotional support animal. I won't say dog because now I don't want to I don't want him to look at this, be like, what are you calling me?
Yeah.
Not that.
And he'll be your +1. So Sunday comes and you're all done. What's the first thing you're going to do to celebrate the end of the competition?
Man, I'm going to go out to eat with my, I have a couple fans coming, my sister-in-law, my family. There's a couple members at the gym that are going to make their way out there. So I'll go have a celebration dinner somewhere. I don't know. Depends on my mood. It'll last year, the mood was steak. I wanted a nice steakhouse and a big old glass of wine. So maybe I'm sure I want some wine. I've been craving it. So, but I've been staying away. So it was probably some wine, maybe some cookies. I've been dabbling into the cookies recently. And I'm liking them. So
one of the athletes responded, a pile of cookies.
A pile.
A pile.
I wouldn't mind that. Too bad Knoxville. I don't think they didn't have crumble last year. I'm a big fan of crumble.
And it's on Sunday, and crumble's closed on Sunday.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to plan. I'm gonna have to get it and just stare at it as motivation.
Yeah. We talked. This is I think the 40-something one I've done. And we've talked crumble. We've talked Chick-fil-A being closed on Sunday.
Oh, that's always a sad. I crave it the most on Sunday.
Yeah. I think that's their ploy.
Yeah. That makes you show up on Monday.
Yeah. Well, Leah, this has been a blast.
Yes,
hopefully we can do this again. I will
Absolutely.
be at the MACC. So
Awesome.
getting interviews coming off the floor. So when you win an event, I'll grab you and get a quick interview.
Sounds great. Look forward to seeing you
And when you podium, we can talk about that too.
Yes. Can't wait.
All right. Well, have a great day. And thank you so much for jumping on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was fun.